for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am excited because guess who's with us today? Our own Coach Ken Canion. How are you, Coach Ken?
I'm doing great, Kim. And you?
I'm doing great as well. I hear some good things are in a book that's coming out, and I cannot wait to read it.
It's already out.
It's already out.
It's already out. But it's going. We're gonna talk about it today. Yeah,
we'll talk about that, y'all. We'll give everybody a chance to get in, get situated, seated, so we can just maximize our time together. Coach Ken has been our relationship coach here on the Kim Jacobs Show for many years already, and we're honored to have him back. He's blown up, as people would say. You know, he done blew up big. He making some big things happen in society. So we're honored that you still would take the time to be a part of the Kim Jacobs Show today, Coach Ken.
Dude, listen, I'm not big. I always tell them, when we film the show, they always ask, Coach, what do you want to eat? I was like, what is everybody else eating? I see, because I realize that at the end of the day, we're all the same. People get on this kick about big. They're just, they should not think more highly of themselves than. There you go. So yeah, let's do it. I'm always come back.
You already preaching, Coach. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure that you have not maximized the full potential of your calling in life, but we'll let God deal with you on that, right?
God said, but the Bible says we're all ministers of the gospel. The truth is, the way we used to do it, that's not the way we're doing it now. See, because you got to reach people where they are. So yes, I am a minister of the gospel. I'm just doing it in my way.
And you know what? I thank God for that, because you're right. All of us are expected to spread the good news and to be able to minister the gospel and to encourage people to be better in life. And you're doing exactly that. So if I call you Pastor Ken, don't get alarmed, because you out here evangelizing.
I won't get along.
Listen, everybody, we want y'all to be active participants in our conversation today. We're talking about relationships and all manner of things pertaining to relationships. One of the things Coach Ken and I wanted us to kind of start with, if possible, is just how do we make this thing called relationships work? A lot of times there's failed relationships, and I was looking at a statistic on, what was this, To Date for Love. And it was actually saying, what was the statistic that was pretty amazing to me? That, wait a minute. Because they were talking about different reasons why couples break up, and long distance relationships sometimes have success rates, but there are times when a lot of couples end up breaking up within the first 3 months of their relationship. So I wanted to just talk to you to find out, why do you think relationships fail from your perspective? Because you have over 180-some thousand followers on your YouTube channel. So talk to us, please.
Well, so let's look at, that's really a multifaceted question you're asking me, because you prefaced it by saying these people were together 3 months and it didn't work. Well, then, so the dynamics of someone who's been together 3 months versus somebody who's been together 5 years or 10 years or been married 20-something years, the dynamics is different. But at the end of the day, the reasons why people break up are the same. All right. And here's why it doesn't work. And I'm going to get to it. There are a number of contributing reasons underneath this, but the main reason is unmet needs. Unmet needs. You see, there's a book called His Needs, Her Needs.
Yeah,
I talked about that. And at the end of the day, you ever notice how relationships, whenever Your needs are being met. Oh, I'm in love. I'm like, I'm good. Oh, they're so wonderful.
Right.
Soon as your needs go unmet for an extended period of time, all
That's
of a
right.
sudden, your emotions about the relationship and your perspective about the relationship changes. Am I
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing, though, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What if I could tell you, Kim? What if I told you that I could show you how to stop picking the wrong person, how to pick the right person for you? I could give you a system, and would you believe me?
I 100% will believe you, Coach Ken. Yes, because I think you have
Yeah.
my best interest at heart. Yes.
Now, a lot of people, but then here's the second. There's a second question to that. But if I told you that I knew a way that you could pick the right person, and I have proven results, but
Mhm.
you would have to change the way you were, the way you operated, the way you talked, the way you communicated, the way you showed up. Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely. So see, for
Mm.
once on the Kim Jacobs show, I'm all in agreement with Coach Ken. That never happens, y'all, by the way.
So you would be willing to change you, and that's and so the sticking part of that is here's the part that kind of throws a wrench in that.
Mhm.
We cannot unknow what we know. All
I
right.
know. I know.
We cannot unsee what we've seen,
That's right.
and we cannot unsay what we've said. And because of those things, it takes us down a road of a perspective of saying, this is who I am, this is
Mhm.
what I've been, and I am unwilling to change to something that is different than what I know.
Okay.
So
So
it's easy to say, yeah, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to do stuff different. I'm willing to show up different. But if the result, if the thing that I desired is greater than my desire to stay the same, then you will change. But most people don't.
well, and that goes back to insanity. People doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. So if
Correct.
we want a different result in our relationships, then we should also be willing to see what needs to change to have a different outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why. So today, so I had a client. So let me share this with you. I
Yes.
had a client who came to me about 8 months ago. And she was a client who had done it the way she'd done it. She'd been divorced.
Mhm.
She was over 50, matter of fact, almost 60. Dang, she had just turned 60. She had been in a relationship, been married, and she's the kind of person, she's like, if I see some coach, I'm gone. If you do something twisted, I'm gonna pop off in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
And then I said, how bad do you want a relationship? How bad? Watch this. Ooh, I'm about to get into this. And so she was like, Coach, I'm tired of getting the same result. Then I said, okay, let's do something different. So I took her through this process that I wrote in this new book. I took her through this process, and there were duds along the way. There were duds. And listen, anybody hear me? Duds or frogs or whatever you call them are necessary.
Okay.
You know why? Because people who are not in alignment with you let you know what you need. See, the thing is what you need, what you desire. See, the thing is, you think you know what you need until you get in a relationship. You think you know because you ever notice how relationships is the one thing that reveal us to ourselves?
Mhm.
They reveal us to ourselves because you be like, the relationship is the one thing that can make you act a fool.
Right. Right.
A relationship is the one thing that'll get you out of character.
Mhm.
The relationship is the one thing that reveals yourself to you, right? It
Good.
not only reveals the other person, but it reveals you to you. Now, so I told her, I said, listen, and this is so I said, there are gonna be duds along the way. We need the duds for practice.
Okay.
For practice. I know this sounds crazy,
It
but she at first was crazy to her because most of us just want to meet somebody we want to be done with.
That's it.
We
That's true.
want to be done with it. We're like, I got that. I got my person. But then you forego all of the steps in between to really get to know the person, to really vet the person, to really see if that person is in alignment with you. Okay? It's just true. And then you wake up 3 months later. Remember what you said? I go back to your statement. 3 months later, you're like, dang, this is not the person I thought they were. Oh. And I said, well, you didn't include all the steps in between because most people don't know the steps. But she did. She went through with it and she didn't like it. She had some days where she cried. She had some days where she laughed. She had some days where she was mad. She had some days, I taught her how to communicate with her own family. And at the end of the day, in 8.5 months, almost 9 months, she ended up meeting a guy, and they ended up, and the guy proposed to her because she went through the system that I taught her. And she was on the other day crying, talking to the other ladies, telling them, explaining to them, what we did. Now she's in my relationship academy, and she was a personal client. But the thing is, she lately she was spending a lot of time with her husband. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm here when you need me, but you go nurture that relationship. So that's how it goes. I mean, but that's the thing though, Kim. Most people ain't willing to follow the process. Most people are not willing to trust the process.
So what? Okay, because I mean, she clearly trusted the process, which is a blessing,
She didn't
and that
like
means
it,
that she was,
but she trusted it.
huh? She didn't
She
like
didn't
it,
like
but she
it.
trusted it,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So, what's like a first step for us women out here that would love to have the outcome of a wonderful husband that loves us according to God's word, but
Okay.
we don't know where to start. So, what?
Get
Because I
Coach
believe
Ken's
wholeheartedly somebody should find you.
get,
That's what I
get
believe.
Coach Ken's Get Coach Ken's new ebook, Just Ask, 250 questions to know if he's the one. That's where you start. Listen, that's where you start.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, Kim. Let me ask you a question, Kim. Here's the question. If somebody said, how do I start my own podcast, my own show?
Right.
How would I? You could rattle off things, but they still wouldn't be any closer. They would not be any closer to starting their own show. What you would say is, okay, it's a process. Let me mentor you. Let me guide you. Let me coach you into this process. I can sit down and tell you the process, but here's the problem. You don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
And so when things come up, you got to have someone to help you navigate through that. Now, that part is not in the book because you don't know what's going to come up.
That's right.
You don't know.
Well, I'm glad you actually said that because we actually have a training that's starting on how to start your own show from scratch. And we have 2 seats left. So if you're interested in starting, I agree with Coach Ken. You can go and hear all of the tips all day long that he shares on all of his platforms. You can take notes. You can attempt to apply them to your lives. And it's not that he's even withholding information. He's actually sharing all of the information with you. But until you go through the training and start implementing it and exercising hands-on activity, you really don't know how to implement it effectively. So I agree
Sure.
with you. So make sure y'all take my How to Start Your Show from Scratch training coming up for sure. And get Coach Ken's book right away today. Go get that book. Just
So, so here's the thing, Kim. Me and you've been friends for a long time.
yeah.
And I will say this to you. I am committed to doing what I'm doing, just like you're committed. I believe in love. I believe in relationships. And I also believe that people who are not in alignment shouldn't be together either. So I believe in breakups too. I'm just being honest.
I do too.
Because I think, but here's the thing. And I want you to write this quote down. What's up, Smitty? Smitty is on. That's one of my guys I follow. We both love Atlanta Falcons. My guy, Smitty Sports Machine. He put up content every day.
Hey, Coach, what up? What up? He say, what's up? What up?
Guy, Smitty Smith. All right. So I want you to write this quote down. Relationships wouldn't be so hard if we did not expect them to be so easy.
Relationships wouldn't be so hard. Somebody type that, y'all. Wouldn't be so hard.
Wouldn't be so hard if we didn't expect them to be so easy. And what do I mean by that? Relationships are the only thing We just expect to work based on the way we feel. If you go to a new job, what happens? You don't expect it to work based on because you're excited about the job. You expect to get training. You expect to get coaching, mentoring. You expect to get so that you understand why is it that relationships we don't get any training on conflict resolution, no training on communication. Yeah, we go to our church. Well, listen, here's what we do. I'm just gonna keep it real. We go to the church and get 3 weeks worth of counseling, right? To a pastor, we think just because he's a pastor, he understands relationships. No, because the pastor got problems behind the scenes too. He got problems
Yes.
behind the scenes, and he doesn't understand how it works. He just gonna read the scripture and say, "When a man finds a wife, man find a good thing." Yeah, there we go. Right? Love your wife like Jesus loved the church. This is listen. I am
But you
the
be
first.
trained on that. You
Huh?
have to be trained on how to love your wife, how Jesus loved the church, because that's a training process. It's not
And
something that
it's
everyone
a training process by people who know what that means, how to train. Wives, submit to your husband. We got to know what that means in a practical sense, not in a theoretical, pie in the sky sense. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
I agree with you, Coach Ken, that in my personal opinion, at least I could say in Promise Fellowship Church, since I'm a new pastor here, right? That we will
What?
have counsel, real
Why you ain't
official.
tell me that?
You didn't know that? Where you been, Coach Ken?
You know,
We had
I've
our
been
launch
traveling all
service
over.
on Sunday, our first official service for Promise Fellowship, where we're standing on the promises of God. We had our launch service this
Yeah.
past Sunday. Yes, yes. And we're in the Oasis Shriners building every Sunday at 10 a.m. in
I
Charlotte.
love you. I'm so happy. I am so ecstatic. You know that because you one of the few people. I ain't gonna lie to you. You one of the few people I know that love the Lord. I know a lot of people that love God and they're saved, but you're one of the few people that still have that innocence about them. Like you, you are one of those people who always been the same. You'll never change. You still got that innocent heart for God that I love, and congratulations. I am super happy. And look, I'm gonna visit. I gotta come to Charlotte Saturday to an event at International Church. I gotta come to Charlotte Saturday but it's a dating event. So
Okay. Well, then you just stay right over and come on Sunday, 10 a.m. to Promise Fellowship. It'll be our second service. And 9 people join on Sunday. I was so excited.
but I will do it one Sunday. I will do it a Sunday. I done missed my church a couple because I've been traveling. So I got to be back at my home church. But one Sunday, I'm coming. I promise.
Well, you just let us know. And if we tell everybody in the community that Coach Ken coming to the service,
Oh,
we might even have some more visitors that Sunday.
yeah, yeah, right. I don't know about
Coach
that.
Ken and Karen. Let me be clear, because listen, this is his beautiful. This is his
Uh,
beautiful
yeah,
family.
they're my babies. They're my babies. Yeah, yeah. They're my
Where he
babies.
goes,
So,
she goes. That's right.
yeah, well, that's right. That's right.
That's a
That's
beautiful.
right. That's yeah.
All
That's
right.
it.
Okay. So we're talking about relationships today, and thank you so much, Yolanda. I appreciate you. All right. So when I was going back, Coach Ken, I was looking through a lot of your videos. You have so many great tips and words of encouragement and some practical things that people can apply and know whether something's going to work or not.
Sure.
What do you think is the most important ingredient to making a relationship work from your perspective? And it can be any kind. Take it from whichever angle you choose. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whether it's
So
marriage, whether it's dating, whatever.
I think the most important ingredient in making a relationship work is the desire to make it work. See,
That's what I thought you were. I knew your answer.
the desire to make it work because you can have two people in a relationship, and if only one person has the desire to make it work, it won't work. It's not going to work, And so I think if both people bring the desire, see, I can help. I can help people solve. I've saved a whole bunch of marriages. You know that.
Yeah.
I can help. I can help almost anybody restore their marriage if both people are willing to do it. If both people want to do it. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is is both parties willing to look self-reflect. So if you think about it, some relationships that have been together a while, a lot of times it's always, Kim, you're at fault. Like me and you in a
Right.
relationship, I'm always saying it's what you did. You did this. If you stop doing this, if you would give me more sex. I'm just saying, if you would stop watching the game, if you would, it's always that. And what happens is, then we become adversaries. We become opponents, right? And so instead of what I'm great at doing is, I ain't got no problem saying I'm great at doing it because I am. But what I'm great at doing is getting couples to become one against the problem,
Good.
as
Good.
opposed to looking at my partner, my mate, as the problem.
Mhm. That's
Do you
good.
see what I'm saying? And so if we can, and the reason, the way I do that is, when I start off, I do a discovery session, and discovery sessions are real deep now. They bring up a lot of stuff. And
Yes.
so in discovery sessions, my whole objective, my only objective, is to get you to see the world from their perspective, if it's not before a moment, just for a moment. And I use these words when we start, because there are 4 words that I don't use. I don't use something is good or bad, because what's good for you, Kim, might be good for me,
That's
or might be for me. Or right or wrong. What's right for you might not be right for me. Okay. So when you take out the moral judgment in coaching, all of a sudden I focus on 2 words. Is it working or not working?
Period.
If it ain't working, then let's figure it out. How do we get it to work? What do we do? And then I start from that perspective. And the only thing I focus on at the beginning is it possible? Can you see how the other person might feel this way?
Mhm.
Can you see how he might feel like you're neglecting him?
Mhm.
Might. And if I get your mind, you know what this is called?
What?
This is called, I'm interjecting a thought to your subconscious mind.
Good.
You see, everything starts with a thought, but you have to introduce the thought to the mind before the mind will ever embrace it. But so
Mhm.
the way I do it, I introduce it in small bits, small pieces. So the mind can say, okay, that's possible. If I say you at fault, the mind ain't accepting that. No, I'm not. But if I say, is it possible that she could feel that way? Is it just possible just once? And they might be like, yeah, I can see that. Uh-oh. Now I've introduced the thought that your subconscious mind will accept because your conscious mind accepted. Ooh, I don't want to get too deep. I'm getting hyped in here. Okay, okay. I get a little excited. I get a little excited when I'm doing this, but that is how.
Keep going.
Oh, all right, all right, all right. Don't laugh at me. I got problems.
No, this is good.
So, but that's how I do it.
I mean, because we're and glean what you're sharing. So keep it going. Go.
No. I just wanted to say that to you. So when you asked the question, your original question was, why don't relationships work, or how to get relationships to work, or whatever. But here's the thing. You know, most people, most people in business, in relationships, most people focus on what they don't want, as opposed to focusing on what they do want. Let me give you an example. So the first thing I teach my people, stop looking for red flags, because what you're looking for is what you don't want. And you will always find it, and you create the energy of lack, neglect. I don't have it. Okay. So I said, look for green flags. A green flag is, I like that. So I like the way they communicate about that. That's going to make me stay a little bit longer so I can find out more. Because if you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get more of that. You because you become there's a thing in our brain called the reticular activating system. And the way this works is it simply works that we become acutely aware of the thing that we desire. All right. So I want to give you an example of this. I'm gonna give you an example of this, Kim. So I just bought a new truck, right? My wife made me buy a new truck. I ain't had a new car in 20 years because I ain't never wanted to pay her a car in
Great
January.
job.
So I bought my wife a car in January, right? And she knows I always take her old car. But she was like, look, I'm tired of you because the car didn't have no air in it. It didn't have no heat. She was like, you keep just go back. I'm like, I don't why I need that. Anyway, so she made me go buy a truck, right? So I bought me a new truck. I ain't want to know if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy one brand new. I had 12 miles on it. So I saw the color of the one. It's a blue. It's a different color blue. All right. And I saw it. I said, I want it. And I had not seen it anywhere. Now, my reticular activating system, as soon as I focused on what I wanted, right? I was acutely aware of what I wanted. I took it, drove it off the lot. Do you know? In the first week alone, I saw 3 trucks that look just like mine.
Right.
Why is that? The trucks have always been there. They've always been there.
Right.
Now, my reticular activating system was acutely aware of them. You see the difference? Because they were always right there. And so that is how I approach relationships and the repair of them.
Wow. That's a great example. A great example. And yes, a lot of times you're right. We don't see what we don't see. So time you drive off the lot, then you all of these vehicles that look so similar. Or dress for women. It's like, I thought I had something special. It's like, yeah. And then, God forbid we talk about people. You think you got something special. You're like, I know I can see him out at the restaurant with her or whatever. You're like, that right there. It's good. Good example. Listen, I want to get a chance to your question to your audience as well. I see you, Dennis. You said much love. Yolanda, beautiful picture. Congratulations, Pastor Allen said, congratulations. Relationships wouldn't be so hard. We didn't expect them to be so easy. Basically, that the relationships are going to take.
My guy, Jeffrey Cleveland, as my classmate from high school, super successful man of God, super successful out of Atlanta. What's up, Jeff? I don't know if you're still listening, but yeah. So that's my guy. That's my guy.
But for a minute.
Go ahead.
I'm going to off the line with my connection here, but I want you to go ahead and talk for a little.
Oh, I can talk. Yeah, put me on. All right, y'all. So listen, Kim left me up here, and I don't mind doing that because I've been doing this a long time. But let me say this to you all. I want to explain. I was telling her about at the onset of this, that I rewrote. I wrote a book called Just Ask: 250 Questions to Know If He's the One. And I wrote this book because I developed this methodology. And this methodology to teach people how to, number one, stop picking the wrong person. Stop picking people who are not in alignment with you. And so and you don't have to believe me, I use this methodology over the last 8 months with one of my clients, and now I'm using it with all my clients. But I decided to write it down, to put it in a book, to put it in a way where people could get it. And here's what I'm gonna say. If you get this book, if you get it, it's an ebook. You can download it right away. And if you have any questions, you can email me. I'm going to do a class on the book for those people who know in the upcoming year, you want to meet somebody new, but you're tired of going through the same thing. But you got to change. You got to change your approach, y'all. What they say, insanity is expecting something different, expecting different results by doing the same thing, expecting whatever it says. Y'all get it. But look, here's what I'm going to say. There are people out there who listen to all of these content creators, and everybody got to take on relationships. Everybody's got to take, y'all. But let me say this to you. If people can't tell you how to get from where you are to where you want to be, shut them off. Because at the end of the day, they can just, all they're doing is digging more into your pain. Oh, yeah, men aren't this, women aren't this, they not submissive, men don't want to, pay for everything. Y'all, all of this stuff is ancillary noise. It is the kind of thing that keeps people where they are. And most people don't want to change. And they don't want to invest in themselves. They want to just watch 3 or 4 videos and they think that they're going to get the answer. That is not how it works. And so what I will say to anybody, I want you to look at the link on the screen, or you can go to coachkencanion.com, and I want you to download the book today. Just ask 250 questions to know if he's the one. Now, let's say you're a guy. The book is the exact same for a guy. I could change the title and say, just ask 250 questions to know if she's the one. It is the exact same. Most of my clients are women, so I just market to women. But all of it is the same. All right? Back here.
Well, that's the good thing. I've been back there the whole time. I just had one of my sons help me with this internet thing. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But let me tell you, every book from Coach Ken, the ebook, it's an ebook. You can download it and get it right into your computer right away. It is going to change your relationship. Just like that his needs, her needs survey that helps I can just as intelligently about Coach Ken's work and the things that he shares. So just ask, get the ebook, let it bless your relationship, because it's something that's going to change the trajectory and the outcome of your relationship right away. All right. So Coach Ken, we're going to take a commercial break. And then when we come right back, what I'm actually going to play, Mackenzie, backstage is my promo for our church service as our commercial break. Yeah. And since you may not know about it, like Coach Ken, and we're going to come right back and talk more. Let me tell you what I want to talk about, Coach Ken, when we come back is how do you know when someone is not the one for you? Because there are some things that we should just walk away from. We should look for these signs and we should let it go no matter what. When we come back, we're going to talk about that right after this break. Mackenzie, I'll take us to break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm
And I'll see you Sunday.
I love that. Oh my God. I love it. 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 I love it.
So listen, everybody, make sure you come check out Promise Fellowship. And we're talking today with Coach Ken, our relationship coach. And if you don't already follow him, you're missing out on something big. What can you tell us, Coach Ken, about when we need to just walk away? That's not going to work for us.
Okay. So it goes back to dating. That's why I did the book, because what happens is this. The reason what makes me know. So there are two things. And we mistake them. One is chemistry. The other is compatibility. So we mistake what chemistry and compatibility are. So chemistry is centered around the feelings we have at any given time about the person. Okay, the emotional appeal, right? Because some people say ain't no spark. Well, then what we're really saying is I don't feel there is any chemistry, right? Now watch this. Then chemistry, then there is compatibility. Compatibility is when your core values, the things that you believe, are in alignment with each other. That means they are in sync, right? All right, two things. So what happens is when we meet somebody, what happens when we meet? What do? Oh, they texted me. Oh, I feel good. Well, every time they number come up, my liver quiver. And so we begin operating on chemistry. See, that is the initial attraction. Oh, I like them. Chemistry. And so what we do is we don't ask any deep questions because I don't want to run them off. I don't want to talk about anything deep. So I'm going to rely on chemistry. And what chemistry does, it creates a false sense of illusion, right? That we are compatible. And because I don't go deeper, because I don't ask any deeper questions, I don't know how to, because I ain't never been to Coach Ken's. I don't have his just ask 250 questions. I've never been taught about subconscious communication. I've never been taught about subconscious questions. And so I rely on my emotions. And then I find out 3-6 months later that we are not compatible. We're not in alignment, our core values. And that's why it happens every day. People rely on chemistry for going compatibility.
Wow. And then sometimes at that point, now you're far along in the relationship, and now you feel like I shouldn't just end this because
exactly
it's not the right time to end it. But when is the right time? You have to just end it at some point.
Yeah, but what that's called is called sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy simply says, dang, I paid too much. I've invested too much time. I need to just hang in and stay in here. And then the more time you invest, the more you feel bad because you're like, I'm trying to make it work out of the rest of the year and a half of my life. That's the sunk. And then you create a fallacy, i.e. sunk cost fallacy. You create a fallacy that is going to get better the longer I stay.
Wow, that's good. This is some good teaching right here, Coach Ken. Okay. So it's no right time to break it off.
Well, here's when you break it off.
It's just when you really.
No, the best right time to break it off is, again, get coaching. I keep going back to it because if you were my student, you would have broken it off long before then because you would have realized, you would have known how to ask subconscious questions. You would have known that their core value system was not in alignment with yours. So you would not have gotten so emotionally engaged and you would have broke it off a long time ago.
And is there an appropriate way to break it off? Or is it just like, because some people will just ghost you?
No. I teach my people how to do it. So this is how I taught a person. The same person, she broke it off with a couple of people because I don't let you ghost them if it's not toxic. I will not let my students ghost someone if it's not toxic. Why? Because every time you ghost somebody, what you do is you hurt your ability to communicate.
Right.
Because you avoid it. So what I teach them is how to say it. For instance, let me just say it. So Kim, you know what? I've enjoyed our time together. I truly have. I think you're a wonderful person. I just don't think that we are in alignment for each other. I don't think our core values line up, and I want you to find your person, and I'm gonna move forward to find the one right for me.
I love that, Coach Ken. I just think that is an honorable way to do it. But then there are sometimes that people are nervous about getting broken up with. So you don't. How do I explain this? There are sometimes when you know that it may not work out because the way that the person.
I can't hear you.
I'm having a hard time over here today. I never have a hard time with my internet.
We still gonna get this word out there. We're gonna get this word out there. You having a hard time because the internet don't want to act right. But you know what? God is still God. And God gonna still do what he gonna do, Pastor. He gonna still do what he gonna do, and we're gonna get this message out to the people that's supposed to hear it.
Yes, and I'm serious, I have not had any internet issues since I've been hosting the show. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. We just got to fight through it because somebody's supposed to be getting this.
Yes.
This has been happening to me lately. I'm telling you, my operations director is on the. He's watching us. He put something in the comment, and he said to me, he said, there is something happening. God got, because I had this same issue with a couple of other people, and whatever message that I'm giving, I couldn't even have the lives. It was 3,500 people on the line. 3,500. And so, like he said, just keep going. He said, because there is something, and I don't get it. I don't get it. But I ain't gonna stop.
Well,
I ain't gonna stop.
Please keep going. And I'm gonna put you front and center and let you continue to talk. So go ahead, if you can hear me.
Now I can hear you. You stay right there, because I got a question for you. Can you hear my question?
Yes.
Okay, here's my question for you. All right. You're leading people, because as a pastor, you lead people. You've been doing it a while, but you got your own church now. And relationships, whether it's romantic, whether it's in church, relationships themselves can be complex sometimes. All right. Because you have to communicate things. And this is my expertise is communication. I'm a coach that teach people how to communicate. So I want to ask you a question, because this is going to help you. Just like I told the people, I teach people how to tell somebody we're not in alignment. So let's say you come to me and you're like, I ain't good for the church, because you see I'm bringing some bad energy. You see I'm bringing some bad. So, and you have to tell me that. So how would you do it? How would you tell me that you got to get up out of here? You ain't got to go home, but you got to.
I would just come up and talk to you and say, listen, you know what? The love of God is for all of us to be able to experience it and to show the love of God as we communicate with each other. So my desire is for all of us to feel love when they come and experience Promise Fellowship. And I can't dictate to you how God has for you to be, but I can just tell you that in order for you to be communicating on behalf of Promise Fellowship, that I need a certain level of compassion to come through you. Or are we just gonna put you in a different role, not in the front, because you're not about to touch God's people.
I told you to tell me I got to go. I didn't tell me we need something different from you. I see what you just did, Pastor. I know I did not like that. What you just
told you about the church, man. I knew you were gonna.
I'm glad you told me. What you just did, and the reason I did that is what most people do in relationships. They avoid the actual part of communication that they have to get across and hope that the other person figures it out.
Well, let me say this, because being in a relationship is different than being in a church that's open to the public. I cannot just say, get out, get thee out. You don't do that because people, when you're in a church situation, it should technically almost like a hospital for the sick. So people should be able to come in and get what they need from the word that hopefully will help transform their lives. So to be like, you can stay, but you got to go is not something that
we're not doing all that you're doing right now. I'm telling this person hurting the congregation and this person saying stuff and they got to go. And I'm saying, how do you communicate that? I get all that. Let's say we don't
gave them all. Let me go ahead and tell you how I would communicate. You come in up in Promise Fellowship and you act on a whole fool, right? Right? That's what you're saying. A whole fool. You turn your service out. You're doing some drama, and you don't have the best interest of anybody in that building. We're gonna get you escorted out. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, Kim's like, I'm in the strong arm you. Okay.
That's the best way I can say it. Why would you ask me that, Coach Ken? We're gonna get you out.
You know what you need? My operations director just said the pocket communication coach. You know the AI software that I developed on communication. You gonna need that. Y'all need that at the church. And I developed, for those of you listening, I've been talking about my book today, but I developed a communication tool where I programmed AI for 4 to 6 months, still programming, to teach people how to say what it is they need to say. And so when you go to Pocket Communicate, write this down, pocketcommunicationcoach.com. When
Pocket
you go there,
Communication Coach. Everybody type that.
pocketcommunicationcoach.com.
Now, see, it wasn't no glitching when I was saying I'm gonna get somebody out. There was no
Right.
glitching. It was clear, right? Nobody. I wasn't froze.
So anybody, I created it. It took me hours with the developer. And what I did was, there are things people want to say, but they don't know how to say it. Whether you could be talking to friends and family. You could be talking to your mom, not your mom, but somebody else's mom. Be talking to a loved one. You could be on the job and you don't know how to say it. So in my software, all you got to do is type in what you want to say, and it's going to spit out exactly how you should say it.
That's good.
Yeah. PocketCommunicationCoach.com. So look, don't say you don't get tools from me.
Is it a tool?
If you don't want to get better, it's because you don't want to get better. For me, I am providing people with tools. The book, the Pocket Communication Coach, tools. All right?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
I've
real
enjoyed it all the time. Where did the time go?
Yeah, that's funny. So
You-
anyway,
you-
I know being clear and compassionate is one of the things that comes up. Being factual and avoiding unnecessary details is another thought that came up when it comes to what you should say to a person. Not focusing on the person, but focusing on the behavior itself is something that is some other stuff that came out. I just typed it in to see what could be said. So that's good. You're so funny, Coach. All
oh
right.
my God.
Did you all have any questions in the studio audience? Because we can talk about a lot of different things, but I want to make sure I always.
You know I can go all day with this. Oh, where your mama at? I ain't seen her.
No, my mom normally be. I thought my mama was on here. Did Ella
What's
Sprouter? You
your
ain't
name?
on here?
Is your mom Ella? Is it
Oh,
Ella?
Ella, my mom is on here. She said,
I thought that was mom. I thought that was mom. Hey, mom. How you
I
doing?
see a lot of comments, so I can't see them all. So Mackenzie, pop them up if you see it here.
Uh,
My mom said, "Hey, good morning,
Hey,
Kim and Ken. Great show."
how you doing? There you go. All
Someone
right.
else said that the right alignment is the key. Having
Indeed.
right alignment is key.
Indeed.
Valencia said that. And
Indeed.
what is the name of your book again? What's the name of the book?
It is called Just Ask. 250 questions to know if he's the one.
Yes.
And when you read the book, when you get the book and you read it, I want you to reach out to me. Because if you got any questions, because I outline everything and I'm here to guide you through the process. That's what I'm offering for people now, because I'm like, look, don't get out there and just be just doing dumb stuff. I'm just being honest. You just doing dumb stuff, want to go rogue on your own. And then doing it on your own ain't never worked. And then you doing it on your own, it ain't never worked, but you still gonna do it on your own. So, so I'm like,
That's
stop.
good. That's good. And don't forget the pocket communication, everyone. Alan said, yes, Leona, the pocket communication coach is an excellent tool for Coach Ken that he offers, that you can always have the answers to everything right there in your pocket. So make sure you get that. Coach, do you have any classes or challenges, which we have here? We want to hear about the challenge that's coming up. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I have a challenge coming up. It's a 5-day communication challenge. It's called Communicating to Get Your Needs Met. Kim, I think you should come to that challenge. I think you should. And I'm not saying you have to, because where you are right now and what you're trying to do, you need to keep Coach Ken in your pocket, because of the way that I'm going to teach you to grow what it is you grow. I'm just saying, you can do what you want to do. I'm just saying. But what I'm about to do is I'm about to give you the link to the challenge, to the 5-day challenge. It's coming up on the 4th of November. And the 5-day challenge is literally, I often say everything I do gonna change your life. But the reason why I say that is because, y'all, it's working. I just gave it to you, Kim. It's working.
Is that the challenge landing page that you have?
Yeah, that's the challenge landing page.
I'll
The
put that in
challenge,
the comment
everybody want to be
section.
in the challenge. And then if you do VIP on the challenge, if you do VIP, you get to have sessions with me, where you can ask me anything. And VIP meets an hour before the regular general admission. But it's gonna be powerful. And it's a challenge, y'all. It ain't gonna be no workshop. I'm gonna teach you something, but then once I teach it to you, you gotta go out and do something. You gotta go out
Well,
and do something.
Coach Ken, one thing that I'm thinking of, and this is just an idea that probably is something you and your agent and everyone can talk about, is having some specific classes for people in church leadership because it is
Okay.
very different. It's very different, in my opinion, because we're leading God's people. I need some serious some serious discernment sessions type of thing because I don't want anybody to be the first man. You know how people be like the first lady. I don't need no first man playing no games.
Can I tell you something? The process is the exact same.
Sure.
What happens is all of this is based around God's leadership.
Perfect.
All of it. When I talk to you about chemistry and compatibility, I don't care if you're in the church or not. You can be a pastor or anything. But when you start feeling googly eyed and all mushy in the inside, because he's telling you how beautiful you are and he's sending you flowers and all that chemistry, but you ain't dealt with compatibility, all of it's the same.
I agree. I agree.
It's all the same. That's why I'm telling you to get the knowledge. What does it say? My people perish for lack of knowledge. And then if you go deeper in scripture, my uncle told me one day, he's a bishop. He said, if you go deeper in that scripture and you interpret, it says, my people perish for rejection of the knowledge.
Rejection.
Yeah.
That's
And so people listen to me all day, and I tell them you can listen to my free stuff. I got thousands of videos out there. But when you really want to change, and you say I gotta get coaching. I gotta understand how to do this when this occurs or that occurs or this occurs. That's what this is about. When he says this, what do I do? What does he mean? When he says good morning, love, and you get love bomb, what do I do? And him and her too, not just him, because there's some women out there doing the same foul stuff. They just getting men to pay for stuff, take them on trips and buying stuff. And okay.
But you can help us maneuver through that and just get to
Yeah.
the other side of the mountain real quick.
Real quick.
Real
Real
quick.
quick.
That's
Real
what I need to know. And I think I'm looking here on this the glitchy side of what's happening. I think it goes along with what I really feel because it's like we need help. We need so even though it looks like it's glitching, it kind of goes with what's really needed in relationships. We need help, and Coach Ken can provide it. So how can they connect with you, Coach Ken?
I'm on every platform, Coach Ken Canyon, CANION, or if you really want to go to coachkencanion.com and everything, I got pretty much there. But yeah,
Coach
you can connect
Ken
with me on
Canyon.
coachkencanion.com.
Okay. And there's a lot of advice out here, Coach. And how do you know what advice to follow? Because everybody says that they're the expert in that particular area, but they really aren't. So how do we know that they should be coming to you? What's so different about Coach Ken Canyon's experience?
My results.
Yes.
I ain't got to say one else. Somebody asked me the other day, well, what makes you an expert? I said, my results.
Period. And you have tremendous results as a result of everything.
I always say, do I need to say anything else? Yeah. I said, my results. All of the relationships I've saved, all of them put together. I mean, anything else, people often talk about you got degrees. I mean, I like, listen, y'all, people don't care about no degrees when they heard. I've written 8 books. I got certifications. I'm doing all that. Mm-hmm. My boy Alan says, my guy Alan says, you will know them by their fruit.
That's the bottom line. You know them by their fruit. Thank you, Alan, for typing that. And you have bore a lot of fruit. in a short period of time. So even though you're going to take me on as a case, because I guess I'm going to be a case, then you're going to help me, right?
But you got to get the book first, though. I'll take you on as a case, but I need you to read the book because the book is going to help you even as a pastor. You got to get the book. Got to get the book.
That's the ebook you're talking about right now. Like I could just get the book.
Just ask 250 questions. That book is going to help you immensely.
So everybody that's in the studio audience that plan on getting the book, just put what's the name of the book? Just ask.
Just ask 250 questions to know if he's the one.
Just ask.
That's a play on words, but when you read the book, you'll get the concept of, oh wow, I got it. Totally different concept. Totally different.
If you're getting the book, make sure you put it in the comment section. Just ask 250 questions to know if he is the one. Make sure you say, I'm getting the book. Say something so we know you are getting the book today. Get that book.
If they get it, if they want something different, I'm willing to work with them. You know, that's true. Okay.
But sometimes you don't even have anybody to ask the questions to, because it's like
there's training before you get to them.
No, that's my point. I agree. I think that the book should be the book that you get as a precursor to you even getting in the possibility of having a relationship. Then you know what questions to ask right from the beginning. So I think that the book should be in everyone's hand prior to even establishing relationships.
I agree wholeheartedly.
All right, everybody, listen, I don't know how quick that hour went with all this glitching with the internet, which has never happened. But I think because, like you said, Coach Ken, you're getting this message out, and it is a message that the world needs. So
somebody just asked a question. Somebody says, Coach Ken, I really want guidance from you, Coach Ken. However, I don't have the money for the monthly membership. Any other way I can help? Here's what I will say to you. What I will say to you is this, is you may not have the money for my monthly academy. I get it. But you go get that book. Let me know you're serious. Let me know you get the book and then reach out and then I'll figure out something, a way that you could, and maybe you can either join my challenge. But if you make the first step, you may not have any money, borrow the money. Invest in yourself. And what I always tell people, because that's how I know people are serious. Either buy the book or join my challenge. I'll go. You meet me one step, I'll take 5 steps to meet you.
That's good. Very good. You can't get a better answer than that.
Huh?
We said hi at the same time. Say it again.
I said a lot of people come to me like that. They may not have the money, but here's what I always say. I always say, you got to invest in yourself. You got to do something. You got to do something. And then, because then at that point, you plant that seed, I'm willing to help you water it and see what we need to do.
Well, I Sunshine and Beauty is very serious because she said, I am definitely serious. So I'm sure she's going to get that ebook.
We'll see. I'll see if she either gets, I would really say get in the challenge if you want coaching. Get in the challenge, and then I can coach you a little different. The challenge is a one-time fee to get your ticket, to get your spot. Then I can coach you. But if you want coaching, that's where I would say go first.
So, okay, so you're going to here are some steps for those that are just coming into the knowledge of who Coach Ken is. And you can follow him on all social media platforms. You can visit his website, coachkencanion.com. You can go to Linktree. He has all of his social media handles there. Go to the Shopify store and get Just Ask ebook. For those that are audio podcast listeners, make sure you go to shopify.com/products/just-ask-ebook. And then also he has a 5-day challenge that's taking place. And that's right here available as well on his website, coachkencanion.com/the challenge -landing-page. So make sure you all, for audio listeners as well, you take that challenge right away. I do want to ask you all that tune in every day to the Kim Jacobs Show, Monday through Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. We provide you all with wonderful guests that help bring better balance to your household one household at a time. I encourage you to donate to our broadcast today, and I hope it's not glitching. I don't know if it is or not, but Coach, you maybe tell them right quick to donate, because I don't know if it's glitching on that end or not. So tell them to donate to the program.
Y'all need to donate to this program, all right, so she can keep reaching these people. Look, y'all need to donate to the program, all right? That's all I'm saying. That's what you look. Yeah, you know, everybody. Let me just say this. I've donated to this program.
Yes, you have.
Several times, and I will continue to. You know why? Because every seed planted grows into something. You just don't know what the seed gonna grow into, so you need to plant it in fertile ground, in ground that it can reproduce and create an abundance, a harvest of abundance. And that's what she's doing. That's what. What's up, Big John? That's my guy, John. What's good?
Oh, some more comments over here. Let's see. Coach Ken. Thank you, Coach Ken. I appreciate you. You are inspiring. Is there an audio
version right now? Right now, I just finished it last Friday. We don't have an audio version, but you know what? I'm going to do an audio version. I just got to get somebody else to read it, because I don't have the patience to read it right now. So, somebody else to read it. Hey, John, you want to read my audio book? See, John he has the voice of the dude, the announcer for everybody. And you know, I'm gonna get John to read my audio book. That's what I'm gonna do.
See?
Yeah. See what happens? Jonathan, call me after this.
See what happens when you come on the Kim Jacobs Show and tune in. You get an opportunity, John. Look at that. Look at that.
Nah, that's my guy.
All right. Coach Ken Canion. Coach, come back if you would, and let's just talk about the book itself and some of the people that have maybe deep down. By the time I've read it also. I will have read the book too.
Okay. All right, cool. I will do whatever you ask me to do. You know, I've told you that from the very beginning. I will always be there as long as you need, whenever you need. Okay.
All right. Tell them one more time how they can stay connected with you, and we're going to disconnect.
Go to coachkencanion.com. There you go.
All right. All right. Everybody. Well, thank you all so much, and you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Have a great one, everybody. Love you all.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.